You ever hear a story so wild you wonder if anyone will actually believe it? Yeah, that's this one because let me tell you, if you'd been there, sitting in that hospital room the night a barefoot kid changed everything, you'd swear it was just a movie. It starts the way all the worst days do. No warning, just a sudden collapse. A healthy little girl named Amara, 9 years old, laughter still echoing in the kitchen, and then gone, out cold before her dad could tie her other shoe. 7 days later, nothing. Machines blinking, hospital smell thick in the air. Her dad Elijah sitting there, hands at once swung sledgehammers now shaking as he held her limp fingers, refusing to leave, not for food, not for sleep, not for the army of doctors parading in and out with shrugs and tired eyes. They called it acute cerebral shutdown. Sounded like science fiction. Every big-shot specialist in the country took a crack at it, some flown in first class by a billionaire named Devin Langston, who showed up with TV cameras and promises, acting like he could upgrade her brain the way he updates his phone. "We'll give her the best tech money can buy." Langston smirked, sunglasses reflecting the fluorescent lights. And I swear, if Elijah could have gotten up and punched him, he would have. But none of it mattered. Not the AI gadgets, not the experimental drugs, not even that virtual reality helmet they slid over her head like she was about to play a video game instead of fighting for her life. The days bled together. Nurses whispered about miracles and insurance. Doctors started avoiding eye contact, and Langston, once the hero, stopped showing up when there were no headlines left to grab. But Elijah? He read bedtime stories even when Amara couldn't hear, played moon lullabies on his phone, massaged her feet with lotion, anything to remind her she was still loved, still his. On the 8th night, well after midnight, a nurse tapped on the glass. "Mr. Martin, there's a boy. Says he wants to help." Elijah's first instinct was to snap at her. What kind of joke is this? But then he saw him, a little black boy, barefoot, hoodie too big, jeans ripped at the knee, sitting on a waiting room bench, eyes so steady they seemed older than the world. "You Amara's father?" the boy asked. Elijah, too tired to play along, nodded. "I can wake her up," the boy said, not as a plea, just a fact. "Look, kid," Elijah started, "doctors couldn't help, billionaire couldn't help. What makes you think?" But the boy cut him off, gentle as anything. "She's not lost. She's listening from far away. She needs to know it's safe to come back." And something in the way he said it, maybe the certainty, maybe just Elijah's hope running on fumes, made him wave the boy inside. The boy placed a hand on Amara's head, whispered words too quiet for Elijah to hear, then said, "Now you. She needs your truth. The stuff you never say out loud." Elijah's voice cracked, his guard fell, and all at once the grief poured out of guilt, the regret, all the times he wasn't there, every second he wished he could buy back. "I should have seen you slipping away, baby. I should have held you longer, should have told you I was proud," he begged, right there in front of a stranger. "Please come back." The heart monitor beeped, a beat out of rhythm. The nurse gasped. The boy Isaiah smiled. "She's listening." And then he vanished as quietly as he came, promising to return. Elijah didn't know what to believe. No record of the boy, no sign in, no one on camera. But the next morning, Amara's finger twitched. Just once. Only Elijah saw, but that was enough. Nurses called it exhaustion. Some thought Elijah was seeing things, but he knew what he'd seen. And when Isaiah showed up again the next night, same bare feet, same steady eyes, Elijah barely let him finish before asking, "How do I help her?" Isaiah answered, "She needs the song you used to sing before the fire, before you got quiet." That one hit like a punch. Elijah hadn't sung since the accident, since his wife died and the house went silent. But he tried, voice shaky, whispering the old melody about light in the shadows, stars in the rain. And as he sang, Amara's monitor picked up, her heart rate rising, her fingers moving until even the nurse couldn't deny it. Isaiah explained, "You gave her something to come back to. Now she knows the way." When Elijah asked, "Why us?" Isaiah just looked at him and said, "I was a child like her, once alone in a hospital bed. Nobody came. I promised myself if I ever could, I'd make sure no one else waited alone." And then, like an angel or a ghost, he slipped away again, leaving Elijah sobbing beside his daughter, hope finally breaking through after so many endless nights. The next day, Amara reached for Elijah's hand, no stimulus, no test, just the impossible. Doctors argued about neurology, called it an anomaly, but Elijah just smiled. "You call it what you want," he said, "but I know what I saw." He started writing in a notebook, stories, songs, every bit of love and truth he'd buried. Isaiah left a note, taped to the window. "Sometimes the healing comes before the waking. Don't give up. Keep singing." Amara woke up fully that night, whispering "Daddy," her first word in days. Elijah broke down, holding her close, and when she asked about the boy, he realized she'd seen Isaiah too. "He said he was the echo that found me," she murmured. "He sang until I heard your voice." Doctors scrambled, news spread. Nobody could explain how a girl the world gave up on just came back. But Elijah and Amara knew. Isaiah never showed up on camera, never left a footprint, but his presence was everywhere in the stories, in the song, in the hope that had been missing for so long. Elijah never stopped telling the story, not to the reporters who doubted, not to the doctors with their jargon, but most of all to Amara, every night, every bedtime. He sold everything: cars, lake house, even the investments he once guarded to open an art and music center for kids, a place called Voices at Dawn, where silence ends and healing begins. The mural outside was Amara showing a boy too small for his coat, hand outstretched from the shadows, a caption in bright blue: "He didn't have wings. He had faith." Sometimes Elijah and Amara walked the old neighborhood, Amara in her purple boots. "Just in case," she said, "Isaiah said the best surprises happen when you're ready." Once they met a homeless man playing harmonica, his sign reading, "You're not lost, you're just not finished yet." "Where'd you hear that?" Elijah asked. "From a boy who traveled, lightly carried the truth." The old man grinned. Amara beamed. "He's still out there, Daddy." And Elijah nodded, because he believed her. They shared the story online, called it Isaiah's Echo, and in weeks, messages flooded kids, parents, strangers in dark places, all writing the same thing: "I thought I was lost. Maybe I'm just not finished yet." On the anniversary of her waking, Amara sang the song on stage at Voices at Dawn. In the back row, for a split second, Elijah saw a boy in a dusty coat, barefoot, smiling. Then he was gone. Miracles, yeah. Sometimes they're thunder and lightning. But sometimes they're just a hand in the dark, a voice singing you home, or a kid nobody believes in laughing at the impossible until it isn't impossible anymore. You can argue science, you can argue faith, but here's what matters. He didn't just wake her up, reminded the world how to believe again. So what do you think? Was it a miracle or something else? Tell me below, because honestly, I think we need more stories like this and more voices willing to sing when the night gets too long.